The courtroom was silent eerily. As Tulsi Gabbard stepped forward, the soft echo of her heels against the polished floor punctuated the heavy tension in the air. Her eyes, calm but piercing, locked with those of Judge Edward Chen, a man known for his no-nonsense attitude, razor-sharp intellect, and, at times, a biting sense of sarcasm. Everyone knew he was a hard man to sway. Tulsi knew this hearing was more than just a legal battle. It was personal, it was political, and, for her, it was moral. "Your Honor," she began, voice steady but forceful, "I am here not just for myself, but for every American who has ever been silenced." The moment lingered, and then, to the shock of the packed courtroom, Judge Chen let out a chuckle. Not a stifled one, but a laugh, dry, dismissive, echoing off the walls like a gavel-striking mockery. "You honestly think this is about censorship?" he said, smirking. "Ms. Gabbard, what you're doing is political theater, not legal argument. Let's not pretend this is anything more than a publicity stunt." Gasps rippled through the courtroom. A few people whispered. Others looked away, uncomfortable. But Tulsi didn't flinch. Her face didn't redden with shame, nor did her fists clench with anger. Instead, she closed her eyes, took a breath, and remembered why she was there. 3 months ago, Tulsi had filed a lawsuit against a government agency accused of colluding with major tech companies to suppress her content. During the 2024 presidential primaries, evidence had surfaced to Mel's private meetings. Directives quietly issued to flag her opinions as dangerous misinformation. It was clear to her that powerful entities were manipulating the flow of information to silence dissent, all under the guise of protecting democracy. But no one had wanted to touch it. Other lawmakers avoided the issue. Legal experts scoffed at her chances. Her own advisors begged her to drop it. "You'll never win," they warned. "You'll be laughed out of court." And now, standing in front of one of the most respected federal judges in California, that warning had become prophecy. But Tulsi didn't come to win in the traditional sense. She came to fight. "I know how this looks to you, Your Honor," she said, her voice unwavering. A former congresswoman, accusing powerful institutions of silencing her, sounds like paranoia, doesn't it? But let me ask you this, if a sitting U.S. representative can be shadow banned, deranked, and algorithmically erased, what chance does the average citizen have? I'm not here to play a part in anyone's theater. I'm here because truth has become a casualty of politics. And if I have to lose in this court to wake people up, then I'll take that loss with pride. For a moment, there was silence, again, but this time, it wasn't oppressive. It was electric. People weren't looking away anymore. Even the court stenographer had paused, eyes lifted, captivated. Tulsi's words had landed. Chen adjusted his glasses, visibly perturbed. "This is a court of law, not a TED Talk." "Then, let's talk law," Tulsi said, stepping forward. "I have emails from senior government officials suggesting content moderation tactics to private tech companies. I have records of flagged posts, keyword bans, and suppression directives. If the First Amendment still means something, then this case does too." The judge studied her for a long time. For the first time, his smirk faded. The legal back and forth that followed was intense. Government lawyers pushed hard, arguing Tulsi had no standing. They claimed the agencies involved had no direct hand in silencing her, just guidelines, recommendations, consultations. Tulsi and her legal team responded with digital forensic evidence, internal Slack messages from tech employees expressing discomfort, and whistleblower testimony. Outside the courthouse, the story caught fire. Mainstream outlets hesitated, but independent journalists dug deep. Hashtags trended, town halls erupted with discussion. Tulsi's courage, once mocked, began to resonate. Not just with her base, but with people across the political spectrum, left, right, apolitical. It wasn't about who she was anymore. It was about what was happening to all of them. Back in the courtroom, the tide began to turn. Judge Chen, known for his skepticism, began asking sharper questions to the government's side. "Counsel," he said one morning, "how do you define coercion in this context? Because it sounds to me like these platforms were strongly encouraged to suppress speech." The government lawyer hesitated. There was no coercion, Your Honor. Just guidance. Guidance that came with consequences. The judge asked. Or pressure. Weeks later, the court ruled partially in Tulsi's favor. The case would move forward, and discovery would proceed. It wasn't a victory, not yet. But it wasn't a loss either. Outside the courthouse that day, reporters swarmed her. Tulsi, what do you say to Judge Chen's initial reaction when he laughed at you? She smiled. Sometimes people laugh at things they don't understand, yet, and sometimes, that laughter becomes the beginning of a conversation we all needed to have. The crowd cheered not for a politician, but for a woman who refused to be humiliated into silence. In the end, Tulsi's battle became a symbol, not of left versus right, but of courage versus convenience. She reminded the country that standing up, even when the room laughs at you, is not foolish, it's necessary. Because change rarely starts with applause, it starts with resistance, with someone daring to speak, when silence is easier. And that's exactly what she did.